Hello everybody. Today I want to show you my speed train, as you can see here. A few of you guys might know this one. I already have made a showcase of this beautiful train of some sort. In the last video I showed you what this train is able to do. Like, I had the full autopilot right here. In this video, so in this version, I decided to delete this full autopilot since it has an autopilot of some sort already in it. So the autopilot it still has in it is like it has his auto stop function, which means the brakes will switch on and the thrust will switch off. So this is how it works. Regularly there is no full autopilot in trains like we have today. How this works right now I will show you in a second. Alright everybody, as you might have noticed, we have this train with doors open. Let me switch the camera to the right angle. This doesn't seem to work right now. There we go. Alright, so let's hit number 5, and this might close the door. You hear the alarm and you see the lights blinking and the doors are closed, as we can see in the cockpit as well. You might have noticed the green lamp is now on, so switched on, because we hit it number 5, which you see right here in the center of the screen. Passenger doors close, which is this button up here. To switch the doors open or make them free so they can open, you have to press this button right here, which is on number 6 on the hotbar. We also can switch at number 4 the driving lights for driving front and backwards. And yeah, of course, as I already have noticed, we have our brakes and thrust for each direction of the train. Alright, let's have a ride, shall we? First, I switch off the brakes and then you see it rolling a little bit automatically. But, of course, we need some thrust, right? Alright, and off we go. If you guys may ask me, why have you removed the full autopilot? Well, this is because a couple of guys mentioned that this is way too complicated and also it's not really needed. So I asked myself, do I really need this full autopilot? And of course, no, I don't. The way this train works right now with a half autopilot, which means it only brakes automatically if needed, at all the red signals, as you will see in a little while, it's already enough if the train can do this by its own. Everything else should be controlled by the train driver, which is you, of course. Let's have a look at the beautiful landscape right here. It's wonderful, isn't it? While driving, we are also able to walk through the train, and of course the doors are locked, so we can't hop off right now, which makes sense. It's a little clangy, a little bit loud right here, but that's fine, I think. Alright, now we are between carriages, which is a little bit, yeah, a little bit confusing, and sometimes you might be afraid to stand right here as I'm right now. Alright, let's go on. Yeah, the same here. This carriage is like mirrored. It's almost the same, but pointing in the other direction. It's a little bit loud in here. As you can see here, we're riding at a full speed of about 360 kilometers per hour, which is pretty fast. Alright. Yeah, and of course you can take a seat here, which is reasonably, but you really don't need to. Alright, let's head back to the cockpit. We also might reach the tunnel in a couple of seconds, if not minutes. Let's see. Yeah, I really enjoy the landscape I've chosen for this trek. Alright guys, now up ahead we have the entrance of the first tunnel. Well, of course a tunnel is kind of boring, but the entry is, wow, just amazing. Sometimes it feels like we might crash into the wall, which is obviously not our goal and of course not that good, right? Luckily I've turned off the block damage, so we will never run into a wall or something else. We just easily ride through that tunnel, and we might reach the first red signal on this line. Let's wait for it, right? Yeah, of course you can switch all the functions on those buttons right here. You don't need to have a seat in this cockpit. Alright, we should reach the first signal in a bit. Excuse me. Alright, there we go. You might see that red little dot which comes closer and closer. Okay, there we go, and it switched automatically. The thrust turned off and the brakes turned on. I'm sorry. Yeah, as you can see here, the speed reduces, we slow down. And hopefully, if everything is configured in the right way, we should stop in that station right here. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We might stop inside of the station. There we go. Alright, let's free the doors so we can open them. In the old, so the last version, the train was stopping here for just about a minute or 1.5 minutes, something like that, and then it was about closing the doors itself and take off all by its own. I decided this might not be a very good idea because, first off, a lot of you guys were confused on how it works and how to activate the autopilot, which is, if you don't use programming at all, very, very, very confusing and difficult. Even it was for me. So I decided to remove it, and it has so much good reasons to not have a full autopilot anymore. Even though you can control the train by your own, which is a little bit more fun, I guess. Alright, yeah, this is the central station here. Plane, I named it. I don't know, I just was looking for names and named it that way. There is no really meaning to it. Oh, right, the traffic lights, or what should I call this? The signals turned from red to green right now. This also works by sensors. Now we can close the doors again. Alright, and now we're ready to go. And off we go. Well, up ahead, as you can see, we have another tunnel, which makes, or made things a little bit more easy to me to build this track, because as you know, the Earth-like planet is very hilly and full of mountains. There's not much plains, and even though if there is some plains, they're not very huge. You always will end up on a hill or even a mountain. And to build a track all around this or all over those mountains and hills was way too much work and way too complicated. So I decided, if I hit a hill or even a mountain, I will dig through it and have this kind of tunnel like you have in undergrounds, right? By the way, I'm very, very sorry for my bad English, since English is not my native language. So, I'm from Germany and I try my very, very best to, yeah, have this video all in English, so most of the people all over the world are mostly able to understand what I'm saying, so what I'm talking about. If I do any mistakes, or maybe many mistakes, I'm sorry for that, because this is not my native language, I repeat. I'm sorry. I try my very best to do this in English as good as possible. If you have any further questions about what I'm talking about, or if you misunderstood something, or if I pronounced anything wrong, I'm sorry. You're able to ask me questions on the comment section below of this project, or should I say world. Ask me and I try to answer as good as possible. Alright, the next red signal. Boom. Now we hit the next station, which was the last stop on the last version. I was able to build this track a little bit more further, and behind this station we have something, yeah, like special. It's not that special, but it's a little cool, I think. And I had a little bit of work to do to figure out how to make it work. So it's a little goodie, I think. You may see it right now just a little bit, but yeah, maybe a few of you guys have seen the pictures on the Steam Workshop here. Alright, let's hit number 6. So, here we have a little switch table. With pressing this button, we can use the rail switch, if this is the right name for this. I just translated it. Yeah, now you see the left is shining green. And when we have a look right here, you see the track goes up to the left. There is no way to the right side right now because I don't have any station at this end. Yeah, this will come up on the next version, of course. So we have to go left on the left track, which also digs down into the hillside and way through to the other side of this mountain. I think we should go ahead and drive this direction, shall we? Alright, let's go back into the train, hit number 5, hit number 1, and hit number 2. As you have seen right now, the train is rolling left and right a little bit, because if you open the doors work with pistons, and most of you guys know everything about the mighty clang, right? So if you use pistons and rotors on your creations, you might, yeah, do some clang motivated confusing things sometimes. Yeah, if you open the doors, it could be possible that the train might roll to the left or to the right a little bit, but don't worry, nothing will happen since this train is all captured into this rail. Yeah, alright, now we're in the 3rd tunnel for now, which is the last tunnel, I hope, or at least for a little while. We will see. I'm not sure yet how far I will build the entire track, the entire map. We will see. I can assure you there will be one more version at least for now after this one. If I go on with this build, we will see, we will find out. You can tell me if you want to see more after this one and after the next one. If this isn't really enough, just tell me in the comments if you want to. Well, after that I will decide if I go on with this project or start a new one. By the way, as you can see here in the middle console, where is speed, stop distance, power time, you also see a time, which is 5:43 right now, right? This is the time when I'm recording. This is real time. It's also possible to show the real time of your location, all by automatic LCDs. It's a very useful script, I think, and I really love it. I really enjoy it. And no matter what update is made by Keen, this script always works. right? Well, yeah, I had to turn off the HUDs because maybe a few of you guys have seen something which you shouldn't have seen. Well, it isn't working, it isn't ready right now, so let's not talk about that. Right now, we're about to reach the last stop for now. It's like on all the stations, it's nothing interesting to see. It's just a station just for, yeah, having a station or 2 or 3 or 4. Of course, you guys, if you download this, you can build fourth if you want to. You can build around those stations whatever you like. It's all up to you, right? It's all up to your creativity. And yeah, I just wanted to build the tracks and the stations, and of course I'll have built this train, which is a lot of work, I can tell you. It is really a lot of work. It was really hard. And yeah, if you want to go on by your own on your computer, of course, you can do that. But also I will build at least one more station after that. So on the other side of the rail switch. Yeah, and we will see where this leads to, right? Oh, it stops a little bit too early, so let's turn brakes off. And yeah, back on again right now. This is enough. Yeah, as you have seen right now, it's sometimes, or every now and then, the train stops way too early before reaching the train station completely. So that's another reason why I decided, and of course we're listening to you guys, to remove the full autopilot, because every now and then it doesn't work perfectly, which is, yeah, you guys know, it's space engineers. It's not perfect, but it's pretty nice, and sometimes it's better you have the control than an autopilot does, right? So yeah, I decided to remove that, and it works pretty fine though. And it's already, yeah, Clang, hello. And it's pretty nice to control a train all by yourself. So that's all for this update, for this project right now. Tell me what you think about it overall. Do you like it? Don't you? What should I do else? Do you have any ideas how I could go on with this project, or mention whatever you want to mention about this project, and I will decide if I do that or don't. Alright guys, thank you for watching, have a good time, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.